The moon is often described as neutral territory, untouched, unclaimed, peaceful. That description is outdated. The moon is already politically unstable, not because conflict has begun, but because industrial capability is accelerating faster than governance architecture. Multiple nations have declared lunar ambitions. Private corporations are developing launch systems, heavy transport, and autonomous robotics. Resource mapping has already identified water ice deposits, rare earth elements, and high-value mineral concentrations. What does this mean? It means that the moon has moved from symbolic exploration to strategic asset. And wherever strategic assets exist without defined jurisdiction, instability follows. History is clear on this pattern. Maritime expansion before international law created piracy and naval conflict. Airspace expansion before regulation created sovereignty disputes. Antarctic territorial claims required a treaty framework before permanent conflict emerged. The moon currently exists in a similar state. There are treaties, but they were written in an era before large-scale commercial extraction was technologically viable. They prohibit national appropriation. They do not fully clarify commercial priority rights. They do not define enforcement mechanisms. They do not specify dispute resolution frameworks for competing industrial actors. This gap does not cause immediate crisis. It creates latent instability. Once capital is deployed at scale, tens or hundreds of billions, the incentive to secure operational zones becomes structural. If one entity invests heavily in a lunar water extraction site, it will require predictable access. If multiple actors target the same region, arbitration becomes necessary. Without predefined mechanisms, friction probability increases. This is not a moral argument. It is an economic one. Capital does not deploy into uncertainty without risk premiums. Uncertainty raises cost. Rising cost increases competitive tension. Competitive tension without governance clarity historically produces confrontation. The moon is therefore politically unstable in a preemptive sense, not chaotic, not militarized, but structurally undefined, and structural ambiguity at planetary scale cannot persist indefinitely. Industrialization forces resolution. Either coordination frameworks emerge voluntarily, or they are forced into existence through conflict. The rational path is obvious. Governance must precede scale, not to control, not to dominate, but to reduce friction before friction becomes expensive. The moon does not require ideology. It requires coordination. Industrial capacity is no longer speculative. It is accelerating. Governance clarity must accelerate with it. This is not a prediction of conflict. It is a recognition of structural pressure. And structural pressure, if ignored, compounds. The moon is already politically unstable because its future is undefined. The question is not whether governance will be required. The question is whether it will be designed calmly or reactively.